Log report continuation. Still the 31st of December 2023. Diamond expecting to see the damn clock. It's 9:51 in the morning, West Coast time. Triggers, emotional roller coasters, tsunamis. If I'm not seeing the physical extensions happening these days, it's one thing to deal with the damn metaphors, but to see the physical stuff, God bless it. Holy crap. Doesn't matter what happens. I mean, heck, I can see or watch something else happening, and then boom, I'm triggered, and I'm just expecting the outcome at that point. They're driving me nuts. Things I had planned to do for today, and automatically, I mean, I came across an interview between two people. One of them was dealing with an anniversary of a lost son, and he was having issues dealing with it. He was focused on the other things happening in his life, and the last thing that they mentioned before the interview got turned off was I hate these damn things. I swear to God, these death anniversaries drive me nuts. And then I had to research who this person was, and I'm thinking, oh my God, why didn't I hear about this one? But 3 years ago, I didn't. I mean, if there was, I wasn't even paying attention. I was stuck in my own damn pain and my own damn grief until I was seeing this guy talking a little bit about it, but more often, they kept it away from it. They didn't make it into the big story, but it was just like a few seconds for enough for the interviewer to give their condolences. And I had to do a video on that one. And I'm hoping that when I get the email address, I'll just send over a copy of the vid from YouTube over to him. Just to let him know that he's not alone with this damn stuff. I keep seeing some of the news organizations out there try to do stories about depression, suicide, death. How people go through it and don't even realize that they're going through this self destructive process over here that puts people either in ashes or in the ground. Let's be honest about that one. Does a hell of a lot of devastation, and every year the anniversary comes up, and it gets harder and harder to deal with, no matter how many times people keep trying to avoid it or try to keep yelling at people, stop talking about it. We don't want to hear about it. I'm like, hear about it, damn it. Hear about it. Because what I'm also taught about grieving is the absence of love. And the deeper and harder that pain is, it's how much level of love that was supposed to be shared. And it's driving people crazy to the point where they are taking those final steps voluntarily, not being forced into it, except by their own damn emotions. And then the decisions are made. There probably pressures from other things just to put the individuals into that situation where everything else is hopeless, and then everybody else around it, if they've already been affected by it, how the hell are they going to be reacting to it, and what's their proper reaction to it? It's whatever they can react, or however they can react to it, even denying it. Put the emotional moleskin on your soul, and then think that nothing else has happened when it's already happened, and you just go through life. But that's how it is. You're supposed to go through life. I try to say that about that in other videos I've made. Animals mourn and grieve for the ones that mate for life. They don't mate with another animal, the same species. They still find it hard as hell to deal and cope with the pain. But we have to have social stigmas, don't we? I couldn't even tell this griever much more than what I had to. I wanted to tell this guy, look, I never lost a son or daughter. I've lost other people. Well, the last one is a surrogate mother and a dog, but a big brother and a mother, all within the last 10 years. The last 10 years. You think that was easy? Anniversaries are coming up. Anniversaries are coming up. January 31st is going to be is Aunt May's death. Hell, I think it was back in June or July, and I don't even know what date it was that Grandma passed. It was about in 82 or 83, somewhere in that time zone, and it was hard as hell to deal with that one. And Ma was never the same. Aunt May's also took a toll on her. But Ma was never the same. And Dave, shit, he had to be strong for people. Hell of a lot of character built in that guy, that's for damn sure. And I tried to be strong for the both of them. But we really couldn't break down in front of each other or in front of anybody else and how the hell we were feeling. Once in a while I would hit and kick in, and then I didn't even know why the hell I was crying at that point. I'm more acutely aware of the triggers. I'm more acutely aware of why. And it still gets to me. If I happen to talk about the topic, or if I happen to talk about the key words that usually get me going, or see something that relates to it one way or another, there it goes. Something innocuous happens, and then, it's like that one last drop in a huge bucket or something. And then, whoosh, here comes the emotions. It takes a while for it to get filled up, and during that time, I'm depressed as hell. Yeah, and there had been times I've been thinking, once in a while, and then, I don't know, like during the holiday season, I've been trying to fight the damn thing. But then again, having an argument with God and also having an argument with the family. I'm not talking about the living, I'm talking about the dead. I don't want to die. They don't want me to die. It's not my time to get killed over yet. And besides, how the hell would I explain that to God? He gave me breath of life and I throw it back in his face? I'm not about to do that to him. I piss him off even worse. But it's like when I try to talk about it with anybody else, they just don't want to deal with it. Either they don't even want to touch their own pain level and they just want to avoid it, or else they just don't care. So the only way for me to do that is not just doing the private secret libraries. I got to put this out in the open. I have to be open and honest about this damn shit because it's the way to help me out. And maybe if it's fate of sorts, help somebody else out, okay, fine. But usually this was for my own self-help, just getting this stuff out. Talking about my memories, talking about why this happened, nostalgia, left and right, talking about my life story. Because in the event I happen to lose my sanity and my brain happens to go funny, where I can't think and remember anything, and maybe if I would remember how to get onto YouTube and just watch my things, maybe like, oh, who's he? He's me? What are you talking about? I don't remember that. Oh, but that was interesting. So I have to keep saying it. I have to keep talking about it. I have to keep talking about it until I'm blue in the face. Or as much as memories I can shove on flash drives. And I need to get more flash drives. been figuring I'll be getting more gigabytes through this damn thing, or zillion bytes. But coming across people who have been touched by this damn thing, and they still can't figure out why. Why? It's hard as hell to throw out the curveballs out there. It's hard as hell to throw out the signs out there. I mean, hell, it would have been easier if every one of us actually had a neon sign saying, "This is what I'm suffering through," or LED lights on our clothing. And yes, I'm in danger right now. Help me. My head is driving me nuts. I need to get it emptied. I'm facing this crisis over here. Can you help me? Last but not least, just give me a damn straitjacket, throw me in a padded cell. Screw the Xanax. I can make a joke about the damn thing, but for the most part, it ain't funny. Now, when I keep coming across news reports about people trying to off themselves one way or another and don't even realize it, either the pain is that bad, the pain is that great, or they don't know how to deal with anything else, or something else is driving them crazy. But you don't go out looking for death unless you already got a death wish already. Unless you already got a job to do and you want to stay alive, and death still visits you anyway. But looking out purposely to destroy yourself? I know it's a cry for help, and unfortunately, we do the hiding very well, don't we? We lie to ourselves, we lie to everybody else, we think we're telling them the truth. And if my therapist actually got a hold of one of these things, she's going to be looking at the questionnaires very carefully at this point. Very carefully, scrutinizing it. Hope she does. Sometimes I can lie to myself and try to be truthful about other things, but it's still coming up tainted. Now, either I'm cash register honest, or I'm not. Putting in IOUs do not balance the register. And talking about this stuff is hard enough anyway. It's bad enough when I go online and see some of these comments and seeing how some of these people are being affected by it. And they understand. Because I'm responding to them and trying to tell them I understand what you're going through. Probably going to have somebody saying, "You don't know anything." I know my own experience is what I've been going through. I've seen it through my own observations at this point. And I'm not a guru. I'm not a lettered academia. They don't even know much either. But I listen to myself, and it makes me more aware. Depression is something you don't mess around with. Grieving is something you don't mess around with. When you marry the two, it's a bad combo. How many people have died from broken hearts, literally? I mean, their hearts just have conniption fits. They stop working. Or rapid activity and then suddenly silent. Maybe vessels that burst, the stress and pressure and anxiety and the pain of losing loved ones. Too much for the heart to bear, and then pop. They're dead. It's a hell of a strain, I'll tell you. Going through the grieving process, crying my eyeballs out, and I think I know better? Give me a frickin' break. Give me a frickin' break on that one. I'm scared enough dealing with this kind of this aspect of me, knowing that I can't be depressed enough to say the hell with everything and just pop it off. People will be offering suggestions about how to get past this damn thing. A lot of them. And the only thing I can do is look them in the eye and say, I'm doing the best I can for right now. I know some people will probably say I'm insane. Yeah, but hiding from the damn pain is not going to make it go away. It's still there. I face death. Too many damn times it scares the shit out of me. I've faced how many times being a lab rat to a lot of people. MDs. Talking to people on a soundboard. This is also a soundboard, just to get my thoughts clarified. Now, getting the thoughts down are one thing, but it's the actions. It's the actions. Some people are terrified whether or not if I'm actually going to be taking an action, because how's it going to be affecting them? Or is it going to be affecting them? Do they actually care enough to be affected? That's the thing concerning about this stuff that we keep deciding about killing ourselves with. The outcome, how it's going to be affecting everybody else, or the stigma is going to be lasting around there, or if we actually say something about it, what's the stigma afterwards? Are we going to be? What's going to happen at that point? What's the reaction going to be from people? Are we going to be stigmatized? Are we going to be leprous? Are we going to be pariahs? Are we going to be cared enough? Do we have people caring enough to actually see what the hell's going on with us? Maybe trying to find a solution or suggest something that we don't go ape shit over? And you're probably asking me, how come? Well, why haven't you done this? Why haven't you done that? You have to make the decision. You have to go YOLO. You have to live only once. So you have to, you have to, you have to. I'm saying like, I'm looking. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? How is it affecting you that way? I do these videos on a constant basis, but how the hell does this affect you? You're going to be the naysayers at this point over here. I have to look at the bright side of life. No, I have to look at life in all of its shades. I have to look and see how things are dealing with. I have to see what's triggering me left and right. If it is still triggering me, I still got that thing going on, and I have to deal with that. And if it's totally ingrained into my soul, there's not a damn suggestion you make out there that's going to be helping me very much on that damn shit. I mean, all the physical treatments out there ain't going to do shit. If the heart's busted on the inside, the heart's busted on the inside, and you have to struggle for survival. That's what I've been learning all the damn long, and I've seen my family being taken out by the damn grief. They just had noticed. They just never said a damn thing about it. Ma struggled like crazy trying to enjoy life. But every time she kept losing somebody she loved, it took a little bit of her out. Next thing I know is the last several years of her life, actually last 3 or 4 years of her life was in a hospital bed at home. And at times she'd be able to go to the doctors until she was too damn weak to do it. Constant trips to the hospital. They started to know her by her first name all the time. So you're in an emergency room and it's embarrassing. When the shift started to know her, that was even worse. And same thing for my brother. Both as the living and the person coming in on a gurney. I haven't had that distinction yet. I'm not looking forward to it. Thank you very much. I'm not planning on putting myself into that situation. I got to deal with life on life's terms. It's cold, it's gray, it's miserable outside. It looks like it's going to rain like crazy. And yet, life goes on. Cars racing up and down the streets. People walking around shouting their heads off because they shut their heads off. And I'm in a house dealing with my dog. I'm dealing with life on life's terms. I make plans, I change plans. I make decisions, I change decisions. There are some decisions that are going to be final, and a few of them I'll make, and others I won't. And if they happen to deal with a permanent relocation, depending on what kind of relocation we're talking about and how permanent we are talking about. Okay. Freaking people out. Let's say if there was, life involved. The final walk. Yeah, well, I think about it. I also think about it as scenarios that might take my life out. A little more afraid of them instead of doing the final walk. But I still don't want to go through that damn process because this scares the shit out of me, whether or not I'm having it voluntarily or involuntarily. I don't like the idea of dying, thank you very much. Been there, done that at the age of 4 years old. It changes a person throughout his lifetime. I can't tell you how many times I kept saying about that on my videos. And dealing with anniversaries of my family's passing, it gets harder and harder each year. That some holidays I can't celebrate it as well as I like to. You know, I could throw up all the physical trappings for Christmas. I've got 4 Christmas trees, small suckers. 3 of them are outfitted with LED Christmas wires. They light up when you click on the remotes. Change the batteries on them. One tree you actually plug in to get the lighting, or get the people yelling and screaming. Life goes on outside, and life in here is about the same. I deal with a bug war. Roach war is going to be carried into next year and the year after that. I deal with it. Right now, it's all I can deal with. So if you don't mind, we're going to see how life is going to be treating me for the rest of the day. I'll be making more videos when I can before New Year's. This is going out on a WIN file.